Morning, good morning. A couple of people saying they couldn't get in, so I had to spend a little bit of time working out where they were, and it looks as if the website is actually working. Okay, there seems to be one little error. If you can point out, and when you get any errors, just give me that drum. Okay, so welcome to the Forex Speed webinar for Monday, the 8th of December 2014. Now, just pointing out the cycles in the US dollar index, the normal seasons, and as we know, the timing may have been a little bit useful. For example, that low there, no high here, a high here, and a low here. But otherwise, it may just come into a bit of a time zone where the US dollar could pull back a bit into Christmas, early January, and then start up again. So I've been looking for this. There's a few other things that might be giving us the signs. I haven't seen anything absolutely yet. I'll certainly have a good squeeze at it now. US dollar index, DX. We can see volume still constructive, so about the only thing we can do is, if you are long, have your stop at 88.57. A try at 90 would be possible. Let's look on the higher time frames. 90.24 is the biggie. Now that's the biggie, 38.2. There's also a double top up here at 89.71. So we'd expect it to get up there, pop, and then have one of the better chances of failing that we have seen in the US dollar index for some time. So maybe it's in the next few days that we see it try to that 90.20 and then start to fail. Keep an eye out. If you are long, stop is at 88.57. EUR USD. EUR USD. It's a mess. Horrible, horrible, horrible. This is on the monthly charts. 1.228 is where it's trading at now, and monthly charts 1.1212, a big target down there. If you have been short, then stop losses at 1.2460. And remember, often we get a little bit of silliness on a Monday. We see another breakdown in the US dollar index. Last week was a range of some 220 points down. So the pain still continues for non-dollar denominated holdings. And if you are short, you can lower your stop loss to 1.2380. Full stop new line. I don't even need to do that anymore. GBP USD, same story. And it looks like I got a problem. Seems as if probably Michelle's been affected by those typhoons, hurricanes. And so I'm missing some of the blanks for the transcripts, etc. Or XPH, G trades. So the US dollar index trade, this is gone. The dollar euro, this is gone. Also, that one has gone too. It's very strange that we've still got that. Anyway, let's get going. So the British pound, we've got nothing on. US dollar, Swiss franc. We look to buy dips down to 97 point something or other. 97.56, which we got, and then immediately it ran down, and that was a 4. Probably we're stopped and entered and stopped at the same time. Yep, dip too far. Send your nuts. Oh no, I brought it up. What was the buy entry? Okay. Assume this is entered. And the stop was raised. Doesn't make sense. No, it's gone. Stopped. Mark, are you not getting my sound coming through? The sound should be working. Has everybody else got a... I can see my sound working pretty well, Mark. Just give me a test on the sound. You try and join the party and it kicks you out. Let me know. USD JPY. We see the dollar yen over 121. Coming up to the big target, 127.81. Just ignored the 120 level, but we do have also some higher levels at 124.15.
Are you getting the sound okay now? Please confirm. I can see my sound working pretty well on most things, but I can't. I need some confirmation. Thank you. Okay, so dollar yen, if you are long, have your stop at 117.81. We have long-term bull horns warnings in the following currencies. EUR USD, new line. And nothing else, new line, new line. We have long-term bear pause warnings in the following currencies, new line. US dollar index, DX, new line. USD CAD, new line. USD JPY, new line. USD CHF, new line. We have short-term bull horns warnings in the following currencies, new line. AUD USD, new line. We have short-term bear pause warnings in the following currencies. US dollar index, DX, new line. USD JPY, new line. USD Mexican peso, new line. AUD USD, new line. As a general comment, we have to ignore a lot of these bear paws and bull horns warnings for many periods because they just don't seem to be working. At the moment, we don't have any major levels that we can work off just yet, but we do have a time cycle that may cause some reversal. But the best thing I can say is if you are long the US dollar against anything, maybe just tighten your stop losses. The Aussie US ignored a decent support. It had a little bit of a bounce off it, but generally the monthly trend is still down. And we have to think about 0.7946 or 0.7982 eventually. Full stop your line. Anything much below that indicates a visitation down into the low 70 cents areas. Full stop your line. Currently, the big target on the weeklies is 0.8268, and we're about 30% off there, 30 basis points off there. If you are short, stop can be at 0.8435, full stop in your line. USD CAD, new line. Kept on keeping on. If you are long, have your stop here at 1.1386, full stop in your line. AUD EUR, new line. Next target 0.6672, stop loss if short 0.68, full stop new line. AUD JPY, new line. Managing to stay steady, which is a remarkable achievement given how weak the Aussie dollar against many things, full stop new line. If you are long, have your stop at 100.64, full stop new line. AUD NZD, new line. This is oversold at present, and a rally back up towards 1.0920 would not surprise me before going lower. Full stop new line. Do we have any specific questions on? Okay, let's let me pop out of here, or at least let me put up the screen, and and say welcome to the Commodities and Futures Speed webinar for Monday, the 8th of December 2014. The CRB index. I don't normally look at the CRB index because I realized today I can get the CRB index on a cash basis, even though it's no longer a futures contract. What we can see here is a little bit of a channel to the downside. Seasonal start up basically from this week, usually. Now we've seen this pattern, and unfortunately I can't draw in, but you can see up the top here, pattern, top, top. This has been working to pattern, and it does start to get stronger soon. Why this is, I can't think of any rhyme or reason, but certainly should be focusing on commodities for actually improving over the shorter period of time, maybe for a rally into February or March. Now, maybe this is stocking up for working out what the year is going on. Maybe the supply issues get out of the way, but we commodities CRB index and the commodities that make it up are ones to have a look at. And I never know the exact composition of the thing, but it'll be interesting to look for. So Chinese iron ore. Actually, let's go Baltic Dry Index. Baltic Dry Index has broken through 1,000. Once it broke that level up here at 1190, it was in trouble. So we're looking for 930 on the downside, possibly a bit lower, maybe 800. It is starting to trend to the downside, and there's not a lot you can do at the moment. It does seem to be negative on this patch on the Baltic Dry Index. Where could it change trend? Maybe on a break back through 1140. But we do know that this Baltic Dry Index, once it gets set in train, it does take a fair bit to reverse it. It is a very trendy piece of equipment. I mean, even here, this was a bit corrective like, but it still made a good move down from 1,000 to 727. Chinese iron ore. Bit puzzled as to why it's there. Chinese iron ore had a rally and then just backed off a little bit. So rallied on Thursday, backed off on Friday. That's not a great sign of strength. Let's look on the monthly charts. We all know quite well they're looking down towards 62. Now, I must warn you that this is actually a different contract to what we normally look at. It's the next contract on. So if you're familiar with some of the numbers, still looking at 61.85. So far, there's been no real change in trend. A slightly better change in trend is above 72. So no real change to the opinion of iron ore is not that strong. And you'll see that reflected in what happened in the US. In the US price of BHP. Energies complex, crude oil. Crude oil fell again. Not that surprising. But then not surprising that it didn't go up. I think that it, a breakthrough 70 would yield towards 73.27 or maybe 80. At the moment, you have to think, well, it's still trending down and people still hate it. So hopefully this forms a little bit of a confused triangle, but we're not seeing really what's going on in that yet. Heating oil just continued to fall through the floor. And I don't think we've got anything on in the commodities space that way. I think Michelle's gotten caught up with a hurricane again, unfortunately. Okay, we do have something here. So here we've got heating oil. We're looking to buy a break above 2.23 or dips to 2.0312. So still looking for dips to 2.080682 and actually 2.03. We'll leave it as is. It doesn't look that fantastic, so we'll just try and get a dip. Natural gas, not much of a bounce off that level, but better than the other ones at the moment. Leave it alone. RBOB gasoline. RBOB gasoline. Going to have to do the same thing with that. Apologies for the slowness. Little bit of a wedge, sorry, falling wedge. Let's buy a break back up above 1.1857. With a stop loss below 1.087805. Financials complex, US 30-year bonds. We see This is confused, really. It's gone up there, it's come back down here, it's still in a range, doesn't know what to do with itself. So we've asked it to sell rallies to 142 and 6/32, and we got filled. So we actually filled. That's a brilliant thing. Stop is at 144. US 10-year notes. They came down to one. Wow, that's interesting. That's fascinating what's going on there. It's done a fib retrace. We've been short. We've been targeting 125 and 22/32. It just missed that low. And we can lower our stop to 126 and 15/32. It's not, I guess it's really not doing that big a range when you think of it. So we're getting to break even. If you wanted to take some profit, you could do so. It's still not a big range. So we can do TP 1/3, 125 and 24/32. And just lower the stop loss. US dollar index, DX, as I said in the commodities, Forex, have your stop at 88.57, hoping for 90.24, which is the very, very big range. I do think we're coming into the time and price area where we could get an attempt at a reversal, either on a larger time frame or certainly a shorter time frame. It is strong, so you want to pick your level and pick your timing. Okay, let's get on to the Aussie bonds. Now, do these make sense in the world? I don't know. There's another bad tick has appeared in the data. It's if they don't care about us. Let's ignore that for the time being. Assume it's following a bit what the US is doing. Every day there's a bad tick. Corn. Corn is good. We're long on a break above 3.92 on Friday, so we've gone long. And stop loss at 3.77. That stop loss can be changed to 3.81. Soybeans, just for the hell of it. Soybeans 10.36. We're looking to buy dips to break of 10.15 or dips to 9.81. That has broken now, so we've gone long here. And this may be what we're seeing in the CRB, the start of a decent change. So we're happy here. Stop is at 9.75. We're entered also. So targeting 11.45. Soybean oil. $32.55. We haven't quite made that. I think we can do it at 32.47 now. If we can get going. Wheat. Target 638. Wheat has lost a little bit of momentum, but if you wanted to buy a break above 6, That would be okay with the stop loss below 5.84, hoping for the 6.38 zone. Rough rice, 1193 support. Triangle, so expect lower down towards 10. Don't take that trade. Don't buy that. If anything, start selling it with a stop above 12.72. We have a trade long in feeder cattle, I believe. 2.35, stop is at 2.330. We can now raise our stop up to 2.332. Metals complex, copper. Copper's rallied pretty well up to a place where it can fall from. So we have got a long copper position at 2.879, and let's TP on third and raise the stop to here at 2.8727. Nickel, we see 5-wave structure. Had a couple of days sitting up here, not sure what to do with itself. If long, stop is at 10.12. We can see a target towards 11.24 or 11.27. Platinum, we see a confused, choppy trading, horrible thing. Stop loss above 12.50 if you are wanting to go short. And you would short on a breakdown but below 12.12. If you want to go long above 12.50 with a stop below 12.12, hoping for 13.09. As I've said before, we're at the fag end of the year and things seem to run, but otherwise not so flash. Silver, not flash either, but not diabolically bad. If you are long, have a stop below 16.15. If you do want to go long, then buy on a break above 16.94. Now we've been looking to buy dips to 16 and it hasn't been happening. We are going to lose that dips to 16.16. Just lose the trade itself. Gold stopped us out on the weekend. That big bar up. It's still struggling. which is disappointing after that big bar up. So we're stopped. Platinum, we are actually long on a PHG trade. Sorry, I forgot about that. $12.16. We have a stop. We went long at $12.41. It didn't follow through. We'll leave that stop at $12.16. If you took it, just get taken out. Softs commodities, cocoa. Cocoa we're not trying to do anything with. I don't know what to do with it. Let's leave it alone. Orange juice, we are gone out of the orange juice trade. That was a beauty. Cotton, actually I'll put this up here. Cotton, it's coffee. Coffee's done what we said it should do. It's cotton first. Cotton, we look to buy a break above 61. That never happened yet. So we'll leave that order there. Coffee. $177.93 on the downside, still the target. It's probably been hard being short. It would have been harder being long. Still giving me nothing to really get excited either way. Orange juice, flagging with a descending triangle. So take your pick. A close below 145 is negative, and a break above 148.24 is positive, looking for 151.42. Leave it alone as far as I can see. Sugar. We are still short sugar, 1582, stop at 1552. Can't see a good reason to change the stop, but might, let's just for the sake of it, bring it down to 15.36. Actually, 15.46. And see how we go with that. I'll just read out some of these bull horns and bear paws warnings so you can keep an eye on them. We have long-term bull horns warnings in the following commodities, new line. Cotton, new line. HG, copper, new line. LB, lumber, new line. SZS, soybeans, new line. SB, sugar, new line. We have short-term bull horns warnings in the following commodities, new line. Goldman Sachs Commodities Index, new line. HO heating oil, new line. KC coffee, new line. NG natural gas, new line. RBOB gasoline, new line. We have long-term bear pause warnings in the following commodity. KC coffee, new line. LC live cattle, new line. DX US dollar index, new line. We have short-term bear pause warnings in the following commodities, new line. Wheat, new line. Japanese T-bonds, 10 years, TSC, new line. Japanese topics, new line. Okay, everyone, I will see you in the next room, which is the World Indices room. Dawn, I'll send you that link if you, or at least email me if you have any problems with that one. First up. Okay. Not that surprising.